Do you ever wonder what separates the millionaires from the rest of us? Is it their intelligence, their luck, or their connections? Or is it something else entirely? According to Harv Eker, author of Secrets of the Millionaire Mind, the real secret to wealth creation lies not in external factors, but in our own minds. In this groundbreaking book, Eker reveals the inner game of wealth and shows you how to develop the millionaire mindset that can transform your financial life. Through a series of powerful insights and exercises, Eker takes you on a journey of self-discovery and empowerment, teaching you how to overcome the limiting beliefs and negative programming that may be holding you back from financial success. You'll learn how to reprogram your subconscious mind for abundance, adopt the habits and attitudes of successful millionaires, and create a roadmap to achieving your financial goals. But this book is not just about money. It's about unlocking your full potential and living a life of purpose and fulfillment. By mastering the inner game of wealth, you'll gain the confidence, clarity, and focus you need to create a life of meaning and impact. So whether you're a struggling entrepreneur, a busy professional, or just someone who wants to improve their financial situation, Secrets of the Millionaire Mind is a must-read book that will challenge your assumptions and inspire you to take action. Get ready to step into your power and unleash your millionaire potential. Part 1. Your Money Blueprint. In this section of the book, Harv Eker explains the concept of the money blueprint, which refers to the beliefs, thoughts, and attitudes we inherit from our family, culture, and upbringing that shape our financial destiny. Eker argues that most people have a flawed money blueprint that limits their financial potential, and that in order to achieve financial success, it is necessary to identify and change our money blueprint. One of the key lessons from this section is the difference between rich and poor mindsets. Eker argues that successful people have a different way of thinking about money and wealth than unsuccessful people, and that these differences in mindset can have a powerful impact on our financial success. For example, Eker notes that successful people tend to focus on opportunities rather than obstacles, whereas unsuccessful people tend to focus on the barriers to their success. Another important lesson from this book is the 17 wealth files that successful people use to create and sustain financial success. These wealth files include things like thinking big, focusing on opportunities, and taking calculated risks. By adopting these wealth files, we can begin to shift our mindset towards abundance and create a new money blueprint that supports our financial goals. However, Eker also notes that most people are operating from a flawed money blueprint that limits their financial potential. He discusses common money myths and negative programming that may be holding people back from achieving the financial success they desire. For example, some common money myths include, money is the root of all evil. It's noble to be poor. Rich people are greedy and unethical. These negative beliefs can cause a self-fulfilling prophecy in which we unconsciously sabotage our own financial success because we believe that money is bad or that rich people are immoral. Fortunately, Eker provides tools and techniques for identifying and changing our money blueprint. He emphasizes the importance of taking responsibility for our financial future and adopting a growth-oriented mindset. By understanding our limiting beliefs and programming, we can begin to shift our mindset towards abundance and create a new money blueprint that supports our financial goals. Part 2. The Wealth Files. The Wealth Files are essentially a list of 17 different beliefs and habits that wealthy people tend to have in common, and they're designed to help readers understand how to shift their mindset towards success. This section of the book is really eye-opening and practical, as it gives readers actionable steps to start thinking and behaving like successful people. Whether you're looking to improve your financial situation or just want to learn how to adopt a more abundance-focused mindset, the Wealth Files are definitely worth checking out. Wealth File number 1. Rich people believe I create my life. Poor people believe life happens to me. This wealth file emphasizes the importance of taking personal responsibility for our lives and financial success. Rich people understand that they are in control of their destiny and that their actions and decisions have a direct impact on their financial outcomes. On the other hand, poor people tend to blame outside circumstances or other people for their lack of financial success. Eker shares the story of a woman who attended one of his seminars. During the seminar, she talked about how she wanted to start her own business but felt stuck in her current job. When asked what was holding her back, she replied, "My boss won't let me." Upon further questioning, it became clear that she had never actually asked her boss for permission to start her own business. Instead, she assumed that he wouldn't let her and used that as an excuse for not taking action. This is an example of how people can blame outside circumstances, such as their boss or their job, for their lack of financial success, rather than taking responsibility for their own actions and decisions. The primary solution is to adopt a mindset of personal responsibility and recognize that one's financial situation is a result of their own thoughts, beliefs, and actions. By taking ownership of their financial situation and shifting their mindset towards abundance and possibility, individuals can break free from the cycle of blaming others and start taking proactive steps towards creating wealth. Wealth file number 2. Rich people play the money game to win. Poor people play the money game to not lose. This wealth file highlights the complete difference in mindset between rich and poor people when it comes to playing the money game. Rich people understand that accumulating wealth is a game, and like any game, there are rules, strategies, and skills that can be learned and mastered in order to succeed. They're willing to take calculated risks and make smart investments to achieve their financial goals. On the other hand, poor people tend to take a defensive approach to money management and are more concerned with avoiding financial loss than with taking risks and seeking financial gain. They often view money as a scarce resource that must be hoarded and protected rather than as a tool that can be leveraged to create wealth. Let's imagine two people, one rich and one poor, who are presented with an investment opportunity. The investment involves putting money into a new business venture that has the potential to provide a high return on investment, but also carries some risk of failure. The rich person would approach this opportunity with a mindset of playing the money game to win. They would carefully consider the risks and rewards of the investment and assess whether it aligns with their long-term financial goals. They would also likely consult with financial experts, perform due diligence on the investment, and make an informed decision based on their analysis. If they decide to invest, they would be confident in their ability to manage the risks and maximize the potential for financial gain. On the other hand, the poor person would approach the same investment opportunity with a mindset of playing the money game not to lose. They would likely be risk-averse and hesitant to invest, fearing the potential loss of their hard-earned money. They may not have the confidence or knowledge to make an informed decision, and may ultimately choose to pass on the opportunity. As a result, they miss out on the potential rewards that come with taking calculated risks and investing in opportunities with high potential for returns. This example illustrates how the rich and poor have fundamentally different approaches to playing the money game. While the rich are focused on winning and growing their wealth, the poor are more concerned with avoiding financial loss and holding on to what they have. By adopting a mindset of playing the money game to win, individuals can learn to take calculated risks, make informed investment decisions, and ultimately achieve greater financial success. Wealth file number 3. Rich people are committed to being rich. Poor people want to be rich. This wealth file emphasizes the importance of commitment to achieving financial success. Wealth file number 3 highlights the difference in mindset between rich and poor people when it comes to commitment to achieving financial success. Rich people are committed to being rich and understand that it takes effort, hard work, and dedication to achieve their goals. They are willing to make sacrifices and take risks to achieve financial success. On the other hand, poor people may have a desire to be rich, but they lack the commitment and often give up when faced with obstacles or challenges. For example, a rich person may be committed to starting their own business, and they are willing to work long hours, take out loans, and make sacrifices to make their business successful. They're focused on achieving their financial growth and are willing to do whatever it takes to make it happen. On the other hand, a poor person may have a desire to start their own business, but they lack the commitment to make it a reality. They may be afraid of taking risks, lack the confidence to pursue their dreams, or simply give up when faced with challenges. The book suggests that the solution to adopting a wealthy mindset is to focus on developing a strong sense of commitment to achieving financial success. This means setting clear financial goals, creating a plan to achieve them, and taking consistent action towards those goals. It also means being willing to make sacrifices and take risks to achieve financial success, and not giving up in the face of obstacles or challenges. Wealth file number 4. Rich people think big, poor people think small. The basic idea behind wealth file number 4 is that rich people tend to think big and have expansive mindsets, while poor people tend to have limited beliefs and small thinking patterns. Rich people understand that there are no limits to what they can achieve, and they set big goals for themselves that they work tirelessly to accomplish. On the other hand, poor people tend to limit their own potential and settle for less than they are capable of achieving. For instance, imagine two people who have the same idea for a business. The rich person would immediately begin thinking about how they can grow the business into a massive success, considering strategies like scaling the business, expanding into new markets, and reaching a global audience. The poor person, however, might think only about how to get by with the business and not consider the potential for massive growth and success. According to the book, the key is to develop a mindset of thinking big and expanding your vision of what's possible. This involves setting ambitious goals, creating a growth mindset, and embracing the power of positive thinking. It also means surrounding yourself with people who think big and can help you achieve your goals, as well as seeking out opportunities for learning and personal growth. By adopting a mindset of thinking big, you can break free from limiting beliefs and self-imposed constraints, and unleash your full potential for success and abundance. Wealth file number 5. Rich people focus on opportunities, poor people focus on obstacles. The mindset of focusing on opportunities rather than obstacles is a key factor in the success of wealthy individuals. Rich people are always on the lookout for opportunities and are willing to take calculated risks to seize them. They approach challenges as opportunities to learn and grow rather than obstacles that hold them back. On the other hand, poor people tend to focus on the obstacles and challenges that they face. They may see a problem and immediately become discouraged, feeling like there's no way to overcome it. This negative mindset can prevent them from seeing potential opportunities and taking advantage of them. For example, imagine two people who've just lost their jobs. One person, who has a wealthy mindset, immediately begins to think of ways to turn this situation into an opportunity. They might start a business or use their newfound free time to learn new skills that can lead to a better job in the future. The other person, with a poor mindset, becomes overwhelmed by the obstacles in their path and falls into a negative spiral of self-pity and hopelessness. The solution, according to the book, is to shift your focus from the obstacles to the opportunities. This means training your mind to look for the potential benefits in every situation, even when things seem difficult or impossible. By adopting this mindset, you can begin to see opportunities where you might have once seen only obstacles, and this can lead to greater financial success and fulfillment in all areas of your life. Wealth file number 6. Rich people admire other rich and successful people. Poor people resent rich and successful people. The 6th wealth file emphasizes the importance of having a positive attitude towards wealth and success. Rich people have a mindset of abundance and understand that there is enough success and wealth to go around. They admire and learn from successful people, seeking to emulate their success. On the other hand, poor people may have a mindset of scarcity and believe that wealth and success are limited resources. They may resent those who have more than them and feel that their success comes at their expense. This attitude can be limiting and prevent them from achieving their own financial success. The book suggests that the solution is to shift your mindset and develop a positive attitude towards wealth and success. Instead of resenting or envying successful people, admire and learn from them. Surround yourself with successful people and seek out their mentorship and advice. This shift in mindset can open up new opportunities and help you achieve your own financial success. Wealth file number 7. Rich people associate with positive, successful people. Poor people associate with negative or unsuccessful people. This highlights the importance of the company we keep and the impact it has on our financial success. Rich people recognize the importance of surrounding themselves with positive and successful people who inspire and challenge them to grow and improve. These individuals can serve as mentors, advisors, and collaborators in achieving their financial goals. On the other hand, Poor people may find themselves surrounded by negative or unsuccessful individuals who hold them back from achieving their full potential. These people may have limiting beliefs and a scarcity mindset that can be contagious, leading to a lack of motivation and inspiration. The solution, according to the book, is to intentionally seek out positive and successful individuals and build relationships with them. This can be done through networking events, joining professional organizations, or seeking out mentors in your field of interest. By surrounding yourself with people who have a mindset of abundance and success, you can gain new perspectives, learn new skills, and be inspired to achieve your financial goals. Wealth file number 8. Rich people are willing to promote themselves and their value. Poor people think negatively about selling and promotion. In the book, Harv Eker explains that many people have negative beliefs about promoting themselves and their value because they associate it with being pushy. However, rich people understand that self-promotion is a necessary part of building a successful business or career. They are willing to put themselves out there and market their skills, products, or services to potential customers or employers. One example of this is a successful entrepreneur who is constantly promoting their business through various marketing channels, such as social media, email marketing, and networking events. They understand the importance of getting their brand and message in front of as many people as possible in order to generate leads and sales. The solution to this wealth file is to change your mindset and beliefs about self-promotion. Instead of seeing it as pushy, start viewing it as an essential part of achieving financial success. Learn how to effectively market yourself and your value, and be willing to step outside of your comfort zone to promote yourself to potential customers or employers. Wealth file number 9. Rich people are bigger than their problems. Poor people are smaller than their problems. This particular wealth file is about the difference in mindset between rich and poor people when it comes to handling problems. The basic idea is that rich people are able to handle their problems and challenges more effectively than poor people because they have a bigger perspective and a stronger sense of self. On the other hand, poor people tend to be overwhelmed and defeated by their problems because they have a smaller mindset and are more focused on the immediate issue at hand. Let's say that a rich person and a poor person both have a dream of starting their own business. They both encounter similar obstacles, such as lack of funding, difficulty finding customers, and unforeseen challenges in running the business. The rich person sees these obstacles as opportunities to learn and grow, and looks for creative solutions to overcome them. They may seek out mentors, research their market, and try new strategies to build their business. They believe that they are bigger than their problems and that they have the skills and resources necessary to succeed. The poor person, on the other hand, may feel overwhelmed by these obstacles and believe that they are insurmountable. They may feel like they don't have the resources or abilities to succeed and give up on their dream. They feel smaller than their problems, and as a result, their mindset limits their ability to achieve their goals. In this example, the rich person's mindset of seeing themselves as bigger than their problems allows them to overcome obstacles and achieve their goal of starting a successful business, while the poor person's mindset limits their ability to succeed. By seeing ourselves as bigger than our problems, we can build the confidence, resilience, and creativity necessary to overcome obstacles and achieve our goals. The key is to develop a bigger perspective and a stronger sense of self. This can be done by adopting a growth mindset, focusing on solutions rather than problems, and taking action to improve your situation. It also involves recognizing that challenges and setbacks are a natural part of life and that it's possible to learn and grow from them. By embracing this mindset, you can become bigger than your problems and achieve greater success and abundance in life. Wealth file number 10. Rich people are excellent receivers. Poor people are poor receivers. Rich people are open to receiving abundance, whether it's money, opportunities, or good experiences. They believe that they deserve abundance and are willing to accept it when it comes their way. They are not afraid to receive money, compliments, or any form of abundance, as they know that they deserve it and are capable of handling it. They have an open and positive attitude towards receiving and are always on the lookout for opportunities that come their way. On the other hand, poor people have a scarcity mindset and may believe that there is not enough to go around. They may feel unworthy of abundance or believe that they are not capable of handling it. As a result, they reject opportunities, compliments, and any form of abundance that comes their way. They may even feel guilty or ashamed when they receive something positive and may subconsciously sabotage their own success. The solution to becoming an excellent receiver, according to the book, is to change our mindset and belief system. We must believe that we are worthy of abundance and capable of handling success. We must also learn to accept compliments, opportunities, and any form of abundance that comes our way with gratitude and without guilt or shame. By changing our mindset and becoming an excellent receiver, we can attract more abundance into our lives and achieve greater financial success. Wealth file number 11. Rich people choose to get paid based on results. Poor people choose to get paid based on time. Rich people understand that their income is directly tied to the value they provide. They focus on delivering high-quality results, and they are willing to take risks to achieve greater rewards. Poor people, on the other hand, are content with trading their time for money. They may be afraid to take risks or lack the skills to deliver high-value results, so they settle for a steady paycheck. Let's say that there are two people who work as software developers. Person A is paid hourly, while person B is paid based on the results they deliver. Person A is paid $30 per hour and spends 40 hours per week working on software projects for their employer. In a typical week, they might spend 10 hours fixing bugs, 10 hours writing new code, and 20 hours in meetings or other non-productive activities. At the end of the week, Person A has earned $1,200 for their work. Person B, on the other hand, is paid based on the results they deliver. They are given a specific project to complete and are paid a fixed amount upon completion. Let's say that they are tasked with building a new feature for a software program and are paid $5,000 upon successful completion. Person B is able to complete the project in just 20 hours, delivering the result faster and with better quality than Person A. This means that they effectively earn $250 per hour for their work compared to Person A's $30 per hour. In this example, being paid by time is inferior because it limits the potential earnings of Person A and rewards them for spending time on non-productive activities. In contrast, Person B is incentivized to deliver high-quality results quickly, which results in a higher overall value for their work. The book suggests that choosing to get paid based on results can be a key factor in achieving financial success. By focusing on delivering high-quality results, individuals can create value for others and be rewarded for their efforts. Additionally, those who are paid for results are often incentivized to improve their skills and knowledge to create even greater value. However, choosing to get paid based on results can also involve taking risks and investing time and effort into developing the skills and knowledge needed to succeed. It requires a willingness to learn and grow and the ability to adapt to changing circumstances. Overall, Wealth File number 11 encourages individuals to consider how they are currently being compensated for their work and to explore opportunities to create more value and earn based on the results they produce. Wealth File number 12. Rich people think both. Poor people think either or. Wealth File number 12 is about the power of mindset in achieving success and happiness. Rich people have a unique ability to see the big picture and understand that there is more than one way to approach a situation. They think in terms of both, believing that they can have both success and happiness, and they actively seek out solutions that benefit everyone involved. This positive mindset allows them to expand their possibilities and pursue their goals with passion and purpose. Poor people, on the other hand, often limit themselves by thinking in terms of either or. They believe that they have to choose between success or happiness, and this scarcity mindset can hold them back from achieving their full potential. They may feel like there are limited resources available to them, or that they have to sacrifice one thing in order to achieve another. This mindset can lead to missed opportunities and a lack of fulfillment in their lives. The solution to this wealth file is to shift your mindset from either or to both. Start by focusing on what you want to achieve and what makes you happy, and look for ways to create win-win situations in your life. Expand your possibilities by seeking out new opportunities and approaching challenges with an open mind. Remember that success and happiness are not mutually exclusive, and with the right mindset, you can achieve both. Wealth File number 13. Rich people focus on their net worth, poor people focus on their working income. Net worth is the total value of an individual's assets, such as cash, investments, real estate, and personal property, minus their liabilities, such as debts, loans, and mortgages. Wealth file number 13 emphasizes the importance of focusing on net worth over working income in achieving financial success. Rich people understand that net worth is a key indicator of financial health, and they prioritize building assets that generate passive income. They understand that passive income can provide financial stability and freedom in the long run. In contrast, poor people focus solely on working income and may spend all their earnings on expenses without saving or investing for the future. They are trapped in a cycle of living paycheck to paycheck and struggle to accumulate wealth. For example, imagine two people who both earn $50,000 a year. The first person spends all their earnings on expenses and has no savings or investments, while the second person saves 30% of their income and invests it in assets that generate passive income. Over time, the second person's net worth will grow, while the first person will remain financially stagnant. This is because the second person's assets are generating additional income, which in turn can be reinvested to generate even more passive income. The solution to this wealth file is to shift focus from working income to net worth. This involves making smart investments and managing finances wisely to increase passive income streams. It may also involve making short-term sacrifices, such as cutting expenses and delaying gratification, in order to achieve long-term financial stability. By focusing on net worth, individuals can build wealth and achieve financial freedom. Wealth file number 14. Rich people manage their money well, poor people mismanage their money well. Managing money effectively is a crucial aspect of building wealth, and wealth file number 14 highlights the difference between the financial habits of rich and poor people. Rich people are proactive in managing their finances and adopt a systematic approach to budgeting, saving, and investing. They make informed decisions based on their financial goals and take steps to increase their wealth over time. For instance, they create a budget and stick to it, and they save a portion of their income each month. They also invest their money in a diversified portfolio that aligns with their risk tolerance and financial objectives. By doing so, they generate passive income streams and accumulate assets that increase their net worth. In contrast, poor people may struggle with managing their money effectively. They may lack the knowledge or skills to budget, save, and invest. As a result, they may overspend or make poor investment decisions that lead to financial difficulties. They may also fall into the trap of living paycheck to paycheck, which leaves them vulnerable to unexpected expenses or financial emergencies. The solution to this wealth file is for poor people to prioritize learning financial literacy and developing good money management habits. They can start by creating a budget, saving a portion of their income, and seeking professional advice to make informed investment decisions. By managing their money well, they can build a solid financial foundation and work towards achieving long-term financial security. Wealth file number 15. Rich people have their money work hard for them. Poor people work hard for their money. Rich people view money as a tool to create more money, while poor people view money as something that they have to work hard for. Rich people understand the power of investing and using their money to work for them, while poor people may not have the knowledge or resources to do so. Those who are wealthy often make their money work hard for them by investing in stocks, real estate, or starting their own businesses. They are willing to take risks and make long-term investments to create a passive income stream. In contrast, those who are poor may spend all their time working multiple jobs or long hours without investing in anything that could generate passive income. By making their money work for them, the wealthy are able to create financial security and freedom. They can choose to work because they want to, not because they have to. The poor, on the other hand, may be trapped in a cycle of working hard just to make ends meet. The solution offered by the book is to change one's mindset and to start viewing money as a tool for creating wealth. This involves learning about investing, budgeting, and creating passive income streams. By making their money work hard for them, anyone can achieve financial security and freedom. Wealth file number 16. Rich people act in spite of fear. Poor people let fear stop them. Wealth file number 16 highlights a crucial difference in mindset between rich people and poor people when it comes to fear. Rich people recognize fear as a natural emotion that arises when stepping out of one's comfort zone, but they don't allow it to paralyze them. Instead, they take action and push through their fear in order to achieve their goals. One example of this is the story of Richard Branson, the founder of the Virgin Group. Branson has said that he's experienced fear throughout his career, particularly when launching new businesses or making major business decisions. However, he doesn't let fear stop him from taking action. In fact, he's often cited as an example of a successful entrepreneur who has learned to turn fear into motivation. Poor people, on the other hand, often let fear dictate their actions. They may be afraid of failure, rejection, or uncertainty, which can cause them to avoid taking risks and trying new things. This can lead to missed opportunities and a lack of personal and financial growth. The solution to this wealth file, as outlined in the book, is to recognize fear as a natural emotion and to not allow it to hold you back. Instead, rich people take action and push through their fear by taking calculated risks and embracing failure as a learning opportunity. By doing so, they are able to achieve their goals and create the life they desire. Wealth file number 17. Rich people constantly learn and grow. Poor people think they already know. Rich people understand that learning is a lifelong process, and they are always seeking new knowledge and skills to improve themselves. They understand that there is always room for growth and are not afraid to admit when they don't know something. Poor people, on the other hand, may have a fixed mindset and believe that they already know everything they need to know. They may be resistant to change and new ideas because they are afraid of the unknown or feel that they already have all the answers. This mindset can hold them back from achieving their full potential and hinder their ability to adapt to changing circumstances. Rich people, on the other hand, are constantly seeking out new ideas and perspectives to expand their knowledge and stay ahead of the game. They read books, attend seminars, network with successful people, and invest in their own education and personal development. They also recognize the value of learning from their mistakes and failures and use these experiences as opportunities for growth and improvement. The solution, as mentioned in the wealth file, is to embrace a growth mindset and always be open to learning and expanding one's knowledge and skills. This can include seeking out new experiences, challenging oneself, and seeking feedback from others. It also means being willing to make mistakes and learn from them rather than fearing failure and avoiding taking risks. So there you have it, a quick overview of Harv Eker's Secrets of the Millionaire Mind. If you're looking to improve your financial situation and develop a mindset for success, this book is definitely worth checking out. It's an easy read that's full of actionable advice, and it just might be the inspiration you need to take your life to the next level. So why not take the first step towards developing a millionaire mindset today? Whether you're looking to start a business, build your wealth, or simply improve your mindset, there's no time like the present to get started. I hope you enjoyed this summary of Secrets of the Millionaire Mind by Harv Eker. If you found this summary helpful, I highly recommend reading the book in full to get an even deeper understanding of the concepts and strategies discussed. I wish you all the best on your journey towards success. And if you're interested in more book summary videos like this, subscribe to my channel. And don't forget to hit the like button if you like this video. Thanks for watching. See you again soon.